Hey family, MarshaunO out here, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and my mission is to decrease the divorce rate. Why is that so important today in this day and age? It's because so many people are home, and unfortunately there are those who are experiencing more domestic violence, as well as just being angry and pissed off more often because you're in tight quarters, and some of you guys do not know how to handle the conflicts within your relationship. And so that's why I'm here today. I'm here to talk about and give you 5 easy tips on how to stop the conflicts within your relationship. Stop the conflicts with your spouse, stop the conflicts with your children. And some of you are still going to work. I want to stop the conflicts with your spouses as well. Excuse me, your co-workers, not your spouses at work. Well, maybe some of you work with your spouse, but you get my drift. I want to give you 5 tips on how to stop, eliminate, get rid of, delete from your life conflicts. And so the very first thing that I want you guys to think about is how you're addressing the conflict. Are you addressing it head on? Are you talking in circles? Are you beating around the bush? Are you trying to be sarcastic? Like, how are you actually addressing the conflict? How are you coming to your spouse, significant other, even children, or even co-workers? How are you speaking to them? How are you talking to them? And how are you addressing what the actual issue is? Because a lot of times it really doesn't matter what you say. It's all about how you say it. It's all about how you say it. So how are you addressing the problem? The second thing to think about and to do is to discover the root problem. What is the root problem? What's the real issue? Why do y'all keep having these same conflicts, or even continue to have the same conversation over and over again? Why? Why? What's the purpose? So that is something that I want you to think about. Also, if you guys can really discuss what the root issue is, you can actually speak to one another. And guess what? The cursing, the possible hitting, the possible punching of walls, the possible lashing out can go away, because now you two are able to discuss things like 2 adults instead of 2 children who are throwing temper tantrums. And guess what? When children are throwing temper tantrums, are you listening to them? No. So take that into consideration. When your child is throwing a temper tantrum, you don't listen to your child. You basically walk away or find another form of letting them self-soothe. So that's what you need to do with your spouse, with your partner. Allow them to calm down. You as well calm down, so you guys can actually speak like adults, so you guys can hear one another instead of reverting and going toward acting like 2 children throwing temper tantrums. Number 3, validate your feelings as well as your partner's feelings. No one wants to hear "I told you so." No one wants to hear "suck it up." No one wants to hear "man up." No one wants to hear your feelings are stupid, they don't mean anything. Validate your partner's feelings, because the more that you validate, "I heard you, I understood you, I'm sorry that this is what happened, I'm sorry that I actually caused you pain," they will soften, they will chill out more, and guess what will happen? You guys will actually continue to have an adult conversation, so you can feel understood, so you can feel heard, so you can feel appreciated, and you guys can actually hear what the root problem is, which was point number 2, and eliminate that right there. So validate your partner's feelings. It goes a long way, and some people dismiss this, and you should not. Don't dismiss your feelings the way that you're feeling. Don't feel ashamed, don't feel guilty, don't feel like that your own feelings are invalid, because they are valid. You have a right to feel those feelings. You have a right to go through what those feelings are taking you through. So do just that, okay? All right, number 4, pick your battles, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that is going on, everything that is being said does not need to have a long drawn out response, a long drawn out where you guys are going back and forth, a long drawn out where now somebody's getting silent treatment. All of that is unnecessary every single time. Because here's the thing, if you actually choose your battles when you're speaking about something, then your partner is more willing to hear you, and they're also more engaged. They're willing to change said behavior because you don't really say things all the time, or you don't nitpick, you don't nag. So guess what? When he's speaking or when she's speaking, I actually need to listen to this. Maybe I need to actually change something because this can make my relationship better. Not only my relationship with myself, my relationship with my spouse, or maybe you're doing this for your coworkers or your siblings, your parents, your children, whatever the relationship is. Cool down on those conflicts by picking and choosing the battles, choosing and picking the topics, so you don't have to feel like you're discussing and always arguing over every little thing that happens. Don't do that to yourself. The fifth and final point, ladies and gentlemen, is don't focus on being right. Nope. No. You're focusing on what the root problem is. You're focusing on how you're actually communicating, how you're addressing what the actual issue is. You're focusing on your delivery. You're focusing on not making your partner pissed off. You're also focusing on not letting whatever is said, whatever is being done in the moment at the time, that it does not affect you. That is what you're focusing on. Focusing on being right does not help the situation. It usually turns you into somewhat of a jackass or an asshole, because then you feel like that you want to overtalk your partner, you want to overtalk your spouse. You feel like just because you said it, it's the right thing to do or the right thing to say, the right way to behave, and that's not always the case. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be in a relationship? Think about that. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be in a relationship? You do not always have to be right, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you are right, you don't have to appear and act like you're right. You don't have to say, I told you so, or I knew that. You don't have to do anything like that, because here's the thing. Once you're more humble, your partner, your spouse, your coworkers, your siblings, your parents, everybody that you're taking this conflict conversation toward respects you that much more, because nobody wants to hear I told you so in that moment. So now here's what I want to know. The question of the day is, how many of these things can you incorporate into the next conflict? How aware are you going to make sure you are, so you can handle the conflicts better, so the conflicts can decrease and they'll be that much easier to address later on. I love you guys. Again, MarshaunO, your favorite life and relationship strategist. If this is your very first time here and you like to hear content like this, then hit that red subscribe button or the icon with my lovely face, because as I mentioned before, my mission is to decrease the divorce rate while simultaneously increasing the marriage rate. We all can do it together. This is a dialogue and not a monologue. So hit the red subscribe button, but also leave a comment down below, because not only would you be helping our tribe, maybe you'll be sharing something with me that I never knew as well. I love you guys. I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.